Hey guys, it's Joe, and in this video I'll be showing you how to create stereo image. Stereo image is spatial locations of sound, so for example, if you're programming in drums, everything would automatically be played in the centre, equally spread between your left and right monitors. But if you were to watch a drum kit play live, then the hi-hats will be playing on the right as well as another cymbal, and then some toms and other cymbals on the left. This creates a stereo image as your right ear will be hearing things louder than your left and vice versa. So the main way to do this is to use panning, which you can adjust using these dials here in Logic. So here we have a standard drum kit set up with all the individual channels separated for you to see. So I'm just going to solo the kick and pan it between the left and right to show you what I'm talking about. So we'll be adjusting the panning to represent how a drum kit would really be set up, and we'll be doing this as if we were watching a drummer play from the front. So the kick and the snare will stay central, the hi-hats will be panned slightly to the right, and also a high tom slightly on the right. So pan the rides quite a way over to the left, as well as a crash quite a bit, and also a low tom. So this is roughly showing the spatial locations of where these sounds will be coming from. So now I'll solo each and show you what it sounds like when they play collectively. We'll start with the kick and the snare as they're both central anyway. It's also important not to have separate channels panned in the exact same locations as other channels, just because then it creates a wider stereo image. The other way to achieve good stereo image is to use delays. So set up a basic synth sound here with a very basic line. So I'll just play that and show you what it is. So as you can see, it's quite sparse, so we put on quite a bit of delay on that to fill out some gaps. So put a stereo delay on it so you can adjust both the right and the left side delays individually. I like to use 8th dotted notes on one side and then a different note length on the other, so I've gone for 8th dotted on the left and quarter note on the right. I like to do this just because it creates quite an interesting rhythm between the left and the right side. So as it's quite sparse, we'll put feedback to 45% on both channels. Then on the output mix we'll have left on 50 and right on 40, so again it's quite high. And I like to keep them slightly different just so then one will fade out before the other, again creating a wider stereo image. So this is how it sounds now with the delay on it. So as you can hear, it sounds very wide and there's a lot going on. Now if you have a melody that's a bit busier, it's best to add shorter delays, so we'll look at that too. So I've written in a much quicker melody here that I'll play you now. So as this melody is much quicker, it's important to keep the feedback lower, as this will reduce the amount of times the sound will play back. So a higher feedback, the longer the sound will keep repeating for, and the lower the feedback, the shorter the amount of time the sound will repeat for. This means that the notes won't clash as they'll die out quicker. So for this one I've gone for much quicker time, so we've got 1/16 dotted and 1/8. Again, keeping them different to keep the pattern interesting. Also got the feedback much lower, so the notes die out quicker. And again on the output it's lower and keeping them slightly different. So here's how this melody sounds with this delay. Stereo image is important when making a track as it makes it sound more realistic, having a very positive effect on the listener. I hope this video has been useful, and if you have any questions please leave a comment or message me via my website. Thanks a lot for watching, cheers.